Bonjour, je suis Lydia Caradine. Welcome back to my channel, Melanated Hyphenated Convalescent, where I talk about being a woman of color in the film industry, dealing with three chronic illnesses slash disabilities, and how I am trying to balance my healing with the career that is very demanding and impractical at the moment, and my recent move to Paris. For those of you who don't know, I look at my notes a lot because of my three chronic illnesses: pituitary prolactinoma, chronic fatigue syndrome, long COVID. I have a lot of brain fog, and so that's where we are. Um, so speaking of my health, today I wanted to talk about giving myself grace um, and doing less than I planned as I adjust to living in a new country. And as I mentioned a while ago, my videos are going to be shorter because I have no energy at all. At all. You can't fathom how little energy I have. So obviously I moved here. I did not expect to get sicker because of said move. But things happen. The stress would have been rough if I were healthy, but because of what I'm dealing with, it has been detrimental to me physically. So that's something that I'm working through every day. Um, so a lot of people have asked me, have I been to a doctor in France? The answer is no. One, because I've just been overwhelmed by all the things that are going on. Um, and I've been like getting my visa things in order so that I can go to the doctor, but I don't really need to. Let me explain. I have I'm on an oral chemo. I have those meds with me. I have enough to last me a while for the tumor, right? So I don't need to go, I do need to get another MRI, but I don't need to go to the doctor to talk about that. Like we know what's going on with that. For the chronic fatigue syndrome and the long COVID, especially the chronic fatigue syndrome, every piece of research I've read, every doctor who cares has said, what you need is rest. Have I been able to rest in the last 2 months? Also, the last 2.5 years? I have not. Um, and I can definitively say that when I was in LA and I was going to the doctor an average of once a week, it was not helpful, it was not healthy, and it was stressful. So going to the doctor in a different language is really not the answer for me right now. Um, One of the things that I had to give up, or accept that I was giving up when I came here, when I saw how my health was going to go, as far as giving myself grace is concerned, is seeing the sights. There's no way that I can go to the Louvre, the Eiffel, Le Jardin de Luxembourg, with the crowds, the noise, the walking, the standing by myself. Um, I can't. And I just have to be like, okay, you know what? Paris gonna be here. Paris gonna wait. Um, a couple of the people who I've met, like tangentially or through people, groups and things, have been like, hey, let's like meet up for drinks so I can get to know you, and or go to coffee, or like let's go to a museum together. And I'm like, that sounds lovely, but I know that sometimes, most of the time, I have to pull myself out of bed because my limbs are heavy. There's no way that I'm going to like do the things I need to do to get to a very crowded museum and then engage when I'm there. I physically can't do that. Like, instead of buying me a drink, why don't you buy me a throw blanket or a lot of tea or a meal delivery subscription? Because um that's where I am. Um so another thing is, before I decided to live outside of the city center, um, I still was like, I'm gonna do things. No. So now I'm in a little village. I love it. And I was like, I'm gonna get to know this village, but still fatigued. So every time I go outside, I feel like I'm gonna faint, and I'm not being like I really feel like I'm going to faint. I get that winded and that out of breath just very easily. So I had to shrink my circle even more. I found a cafe that is like everything that I do now is like less than a half a mile radius for me. Found a little cafe. The woman there first interrogated me because I had a mask on, because apparently in France, if you have a mask, people think that you have active COVID. And I was like, no, no. She's like, well, why do you have it on? And I was like, because I have a brain tumor and I'm immunocompromised. And then she was like, oh, okay, well, no, you're doing the right thing. I'm glad that she agreed for me. Anyways, whatever. After that, she was nice. So like, okay, this is the cafe I'm going to. I found the 2 grocery stores that I was gonna go to because Auchan's gonna be the death of me. I can't do that anymore. Um, Again, very, very close. One is like a Sprouts equivalent. So I was like, all right. I joined their rewards program. That was like my thing for the week, honestly. Um, there's a park that I can walk to, very close. Still feel like I'm gonna pass out when I get back. But it's like what is feasible for me right now. I'm going to go to La Bibliothèque. That's going to be an activity for 1 week, and then maybe another week I'll go to, there's a farmer's market that I looked up that's really, really close, like a 6-minute walk, which honestly is like I accomplish something if I do that. But it's really like little baby steps. Just that's where we're at. So doing the least for me is really difficult. It's really difficult. One of the things that I've seen a lot in the chronic illness community is feeling guilt, feeling shame for not being able to do things the way that you used to do, or the things that people expect you to be able to do, being mad at your body, and feeling like life is passing you by. And honestly, I moved here at the beginning of the year. I was like, I'm ready for a fresh start. I'm gonna have an exciting life in a new country. And really, it's like, nah, girl, you're gonna be in bed watching The Parisian Agency on Netflix, which is like French Property Brothers. And it is delightful. If you haven't watched this show and you don't mind watching things with subtitles, it's I love it so much. A new season is starting in a couple days, and I can't wait. Also, if you want other things to watch on Netflix that are in French, again, not an ad, but like Lupin, obviously, and Call My Agent, which is 10%. That's its French title. Gems. So yeah, I am having to give myself grace, do less, and accept that, okay, I moved to Paris. It's not going the way that I want because of Paris. It's a whole thing, but also because of my health. And it's like, well, this is where I live now. So I don't need to try to do everything right away. I really still need to focus on healing. So that means like I can't go running in the morning. I did that for years. I can't do that. I can go on a 10-minute walk and come back and drink my tea and listen to audiobooks because my eyes hurt all the time. And take Ubers instead of the metro and not feel guilty about it, because I don't have the wherewithal to navigate that right now. I just don't, not by myself. And because I just moved here and I don't really have any friends. Yeah. So it's a process, but here we are. I'm just like having a forced slow living soft girl era, and it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not fine. But that's what we're doing. So, et maintenant, Je dois sortir parce que I told myself that I was going to do less so I don't contribute to my exhaustion. So shorter videos it is, and I will see you next time. À bientôt. Salut. Au revoir.